Yo,
Good morning, Chai Tribe.
yes, it's been quite a while for us, but not for you, because we're on schedule.
Been years. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been like a week and a half since we recorded.
Mm,
Yeah, we haven't talked since Super Bowl weekend.
oh wait.
That
My
that's how
bad. I
long.
couldn't see you, dude. It's been a bit. Did we record Super Bowl morning?
No.
Oh, okay.
We pre-recorded like a Thursday like last week. The
Oh
week
yeah, yeah, yeah.
before, and then we just yeah, we haven't we've been texting, but we haven't like chatted.
Yeah, sexting. It
Yeah.
sounded. By the way, it sounded so much like you said sexting.
Oh,
So
really?
confused. That's for the Patreon. You can't let them know for free
Oh my God. The Chai Guys OnlyFans.
after dark. Dude, what are you sipping on this fine Jubilee?
Oh,
Jubilee? What does that mean? What does Jubilee
Jubilee.
mean?
Is that Pokemon Town?
It definitely is a Pokemon. It's I feel like is the name of Pokemon, but what does it mean in the real world, in MTV's real world? Oh, it's a celebration. Oh, then yeah. What are you sipping on this fine Jubilee?
Oh, well, this is, I guess, quite the celebration. So I've been feeling a little bit naughty this morning. Not that I
Mm,
don't always feel naughty. I'm kidding. But yeah, this
I
week
mean,
I wanted to treat myself. I like lifted 3 times this week. I played like a couple hours of
oh,
volleyball twice this week. So I was like, okay. Usually I'm pretty bland with my coffee drinks, like black, or I get like just almond milk, or
yeah.
not that sweet of a drink. But today I was like, "What's your specialty drink?" And well, first of all, I mumble this shit out of my first few words out in the drive-through because especially for those of you like live by yourself or just like those days where you wake up and you haven't spoken to anybody and you just
Mm-hmm.
got out of bed. Like I literally just got out of bed, like washed my face, got my hair done, went to the drive-through. Like the first few words was gibberish. Like she was like, "Excuse me, what?" I was like, "Hold on a sec."
My bad. Give me one. Here, let me
I was
just let me rehearse
like
this.
my mind to mouth connection was not there at that given moment.
Dude, mind to mouth connection. You should trademark that phrase. Mind to mouth connection, dude.
I feel like that'll be abused.
Yeah, I will. By you specifically, by the way.
But yeah, I was like, "What's your specialty? Like iced lattes or coffees?" She was like, I got brownie batter iced latte."
I didn't know. I know they had a donut like that.
Yeah, yeah. She warned me. It's like very chocolatey. Chocolatey is that word? Yeah, it is,
You
but it
said it.
is.
Yeah,
It's,
you
it's
got
very
it.
sweet. I just got like almond milk. But yeah, it's pretty good. I think it might be a little bit too sweet for my flavor, but
I get you. I get you.
it's good. I earned it. Yeah.
I think I can handle sweet a lot more when it's. I just did my eye on screen. A lot more when it's in a food than a drink.
Yeah.
Because then, like, I can't wash it down because my drink is sweet, and I'm like, oh no, like, what have I done?
Yeah.
It's like when they have like spicy margaritas.
Yeah.
I mean, do you? But like, why? That I can't like that. If I feel the spice, what do I wash it down with?
More spice.
More spice?
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. Yeah, but
What are you sipping
um,
on?
I got Dunkin' as promised. I've been slacking in the Dunkin' department, but this cup makes me happy.
Dude, sippy cups of
Uh,
Dunkin', dude, that's when you
that
know,
yeah,
like,
this makes me
uh,
feel
I
happy
prefer those over the straws. Not because I
all
have
day, all day.
environmental morality in me. I just prefer them. I
Yeah,
really.
just because you like straws, you don't like straws, yeah. I got a sweet cream cold brew. Sweet cream? Cold foam? Cold foam? Sweet foam? What is it called, dude?
Sweet cream cold foam, cold brew. Oh yeah,
No,
yeah. I don't know.
wait.
There's two colds in there, I think.
No, there's definitely well because I said sweet cream cold brew because I know it's called that at Starbucks, and then I thought it was called that here, but then I saw cold foam cold brew
Oh, that's a
on my
thing.
cup.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna say cold foam. Correct me if I'm wrong, but cold foam cold brew. But I added a little dollop of French vanilla swirl.
Dude, stop. Dude, that's just what you need, right? Oh man, yeah. I
A
like
little bit.
a little bit of sweetener is like literally like all you need, you know.
and I'm really happy with it right now, dude. All the cold foam is gone though. I only got a little nip of it,
Hmm.
just a tip.
Yeah, but I need this morning. I was so exhausted this morning. Um, Yet last night I went to a performance, a dance performance. It's called Shen Yun. They
Oh
actually,
yeah, 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 I've heard of
you
it.
know, so my mom bought tickets for my brothers and sisters and I, and she was like, "Yeah, yeah, let's go." It was like a month out,
Yeah.
but yeah, I had to wear the dress code was business casual or business attire, so I had to wear a suit, and I haven't worn a suit in like a couple years, dude. Like
Dude, I
yeah,
love that.
I've dabbled up to like maybe like a dress shirt and like tucked in for work or
Yeah.
something if like leadership came in. But yeah, I haven't worn a suit like that. I was really feeling myself. I took a nice B Real.
A
Yeah,
real,
only took
dude.
2 takes. Few hours late, so it wasn't really real. But
It counts. It counts.
um, yeah, yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I was really mesmerized. Like classic, ancient Chinese dance and singing. It was awesome. It was a vibe.
Dude, I feel like dance shows are like a good dance show is incredible.
Hmm.
Like you're like these people are like conveying a message or a story to me with zero words, just moving their bodies around.
Yeah, they were like flipping all over the place, doing crazy like moves. There's a point where they did this porcelain pot dance, like with a bunch of like I guess a bunch of ladies on the dance floor, and then they were like just bouncing porcelain pots on their head. And at one point, they were like just twirling, and it was just on their head.
No
Crazy.
hand.
No hands, yeah. But they would
That's nuts,
yeah.
dude.
They would do like one hand, two hands, and then like no hands and just dance.
That's just crazy,
The
dude.
crazy balance, the crazy like I guess not center of gravity, but balance you have to do like while walking
Yeah,
forward.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, dude. Yeah, no, that's nuts. Um, I just saw a sign for the show like coming to New York or something in like a month,
Yeah,
or maybe it's there.
they're based in New York, but they've
Yeah,
been touring. I don't think they've done it in a while since COVID.
yeah, yeah. My parents went before COVID in Jersey.
Oh,
They did
really?
it in Jersey, and then now it's back in New York and it's touring. I think, or it's touring and it's coming back.
I didn't know. I didn't know how popular it was. Like I'd have never heard of
Yeah,
it until my mom told me. But yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it.
dude, that's a good recommendation to kick off. Also, like a nice Friday night event. I love like dressing up like that to go out like to an opera or something, dude. It makes you feel like
Yeah,
so like
it gave me like day ideas because it was in the well, I live like near Mesa, which is like a town in Arizona.
mm,
But it was near like the arts. It was like downtown Mesa, but near like the arts building. So there was like an art shop, um, like a outdoor area with like where like live performances can perform, and
oh, dude,
of
that's a
course like the three
great date
story,
idea.
like the yeah, the theater was like awesome. Like it was like 3 stories, and like
Yeah.
the sides where all like the big name people would
Oh yeah,
sit.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like I haven't been in that kind of like environment in so long, but it gave me like date ideas. That'd be such like a nice date. Like I was
Dude,
talking to like an old
100%.
couple. Um, my brother and I were talking to an old couple, and they were like talking about like how they go to like Broadway shows,
Yeah.
like at ASU, that theater. I think that's called the Gamage Theater in ASU, and that theater that we were just at. But they were just an old couple. They were like, yeah, we go to a bunch of these like monthly. We have like a subscription or something, and then we get dinner after. I was like, man, like that'd be a good date.
Dude, that's honestly goals too. I love seeing old couples.
Yeah, they were so
Old
nice
couples make
too.
me so happy.
Yeah,
Like, and they're like just little cutesy and they're like still like flirting with each other. I love that.
yeah.
That is a really good date idea, dude. I feel like for me, I think a movie's not a great date idea. Not like a great first date idea, at least.
Yeah.
But like a outdoor like performance like that is. Even though like they're both shows, you're
Hmm.
like you can like talk with each other and like I
Yeah.
don't know, it like feels different.
And usually with there's usually intermissions with
That's
um
true.
So like bathroom break or chat break, you know, like what do you think about that or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, but with the movies, like you literally can't talk.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't really shift without drawing everyone's attention in like a theater environment, in a performance or dance or theater
Yeah.
environment. You can dabble with not dabble. You can like walk around or not walk around, but you can shift and like not be
Yeah,
as
I know what you
quiet.
mean.
You
Yeah.
know, make out sesh, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, yeah. Get busy right there in the front row. Give them a show while they give you a show.
Yeah.
That's just courteous.
Yeah. Oh, I also forgot the orchestra performance was there too. Like a level below the stage. It
Dude, I
was
love that.
so it was live. I kept forgetting that it wasn't pre-recorded music. It
Yeah.
was there was like a big projector behind them. And it'd be cool because like it'd be a cool effect because like people would like jump into the projector and then their character. It was like animate. It was like pre-animated
Oh, I know what you
stuff.
mean.
So
Yeah.
they'd be jumping in and out, storytelling between the projector and like live dancers and actors. And then the
That's sick.
orchestra down below had like Western music and Chinese music. I mean, instruments.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. No, dude, that kind of stuff. It's also so sick to me. Like I've been in the like front row, I think once, and you could see they're like right there, and you just like have such a view of them like walking around, and it's
Yeah.
like crazy to think they're just down there, just absolutely making the show, basically.
What I want to do on my bucket list, I've seen these videos on like YouTube and Instagram, but because they play the Star Wars soundtrack and performances, like John Williams. I don't know if it's John Williams, but I don't know, like some sort of orchestra. But they have like Obi-Wan and like Anakin fighting on
Yeah.
stage. Dude, I would go with that. Do they have that in New York, dude? We should go with
Dude,
that.
no, they don't. They haven't. I was literally talking about this very weirdly with my parents either yesterday or 2 nights ago because they had a Lord of the Rings one
Oh my
like in the
god.
city, and
Yeah.
Fellowship of the Ring, they played the live orchestra, the whole score, and I was like, oh, I want to go to a John Williams one. But I've seen the ones you're talking about. They fight, dude. I would do that in a second. I would do that in 1 second. But they're usually overseas.
Fuck.
I'll go, dude. I don't give a shit. I'll
We should
go.
go. The Chai
Because,
Guys.
dude,
I
also
need to travel
John Williams
more.
is old. John Williams is like getting up there. He might retire soon, like
Or die.
or die. Yeah, retire from life. And I'd want to see him before that
Okay,
happens.
dude,
Also, Hans Zimmer.
We gotta put that on our bucket list, dude. Dude, imagine that would be just a trip to like see those performances. Like, just get a ticket, get in there, listen to the soundtrack. I mean, the live performance, and then like just like drink a bunch of wine.
Dude, yeah, just absolutely get wine sloshed, dude.
Dude, there were like some like old ladies like walking back to the parking lot. They were just tripping, like running into cars. I was like,
As they
what?
should, dude. As they
Oh my
should.
god,
Live your life.
whose
No,
woman is this?
dude, I would honestly, oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, I think that I would start crying if I saw one of the live John Williams performances. I think the music would hit me like so hard watching the movie with the live like
Yeah.
I think I would like if we saw like I think it's usually like Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Jedi. If I saw Return of the Jedi with a live orchestra, I would be
Dude.
sobbing my
Yeah.
absolute pistachios off. Dude.
Especially the last scene when
Dude.
Darth Vader is in the pit of fire, and it turns from sad to happy because like Luke turns away and looks at Leia and like Han and everybody. Oh my god, that's such a
Dude,
good
the scene
ending.
right before that where he like says he's like, take off my helmet. I remember being like 7, and like that was one of the first things I cried at ever in a movie because I was like, why is this happening? Like, no, it's a cool guy, even though he's not the best. But he did the right thing at the end, which is worth something. So rest in peace.
I might
Anakin
rewatch
Skywalker.
Interstellar or like something that'll make me cry.
Dude, I did that the other night, and I did.
No
I
way.
did,
Oh,
I did
man.
cry. It was on like TV, so like it was just like available, and I was like, I'll
There's,
dabble.
there's something about a movie that's just like a quarter way through or midway through, like just on live TV, that makes you just want to sit down and watch the rest of it.
Like you've already seen it.
I've
Like,
already seen it, but if it's on, I'm like, I might as well just sit down. But it's such a weird, like, such a weird, like, situation. But I guess my way of thinking, because if I sit down and I go through like Disney Plus or Netflix and browse through a bunch of movies that I've already
Yeah,
watched, I'm like, I take forever to choose.
me
But
too.
in that situation, when it's like on live TV, like I'll sit down and just watch like Transformers,
Dude, because you're like,
Lord of
maybe
the
it's a
Rings.
sign. Maybe like I should be
Yeah,
watching this right now.
I'll watch it through with the commercial breaks.
Yeah,
And
yeah, fully. And I
yeah,
honestly, because I've already seen it, I enjoy the commercial breaks. It's a little
yes,
intermission.
same. Like I can grab a snack or something. It's like an automatic what do you call it? It's with like Netflix show, well, with like on demand stuff, like you have to like purposely pause and
Yeah, yeah.
take a break. But with the
And then you're like,
commercial,
oh, should I pause at this part or like
yeah,
this
yeah.
part? Yeah. Dude, it's out of your hands. That's what's so like satisfying. You don't have to make any decisions. You just really have to sit there and go on for the ride. Also, I don't know about you, but I think about this when I'm in the theater sometimes, but I think about it especially when I'm watching like either a big movie on TV or like specifically like a big like say like the Grammys or something, but like the performances at the Grammys or like the Super Bowl halftime show, like some big performance. I think like think about how many other people are watching this right now at the same time, and we're just all connected right now through
Hmm.
what we're watching. Like everybody is having this experience.
Yeah.
A bunch of these like millions of people. That's so cool, man.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
like I'm like in my kitchen. I'm like, there's so many other people in their kitchens, like in the same scenario, watching this, and we're just all like bonding through that.
Yeah. It's where the hype like builds up. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. I haven't done that since this past Super Bowl. With all like the commercials and stuff and the game.
Yeah, I did that this year. Last year I didn't do it. Last year I stayed home and I had like homework group. I was being a lame bitch, and
Yeah. It's dude, it's always so fun, dude. Like I remember like watching like NBA like last season or something when I was like really into it. I need to get back into it now because I think just I don't know, just to enjoy it. But like texting friends, they're just
mm,
when a good play happens, you're like, dude, did you just see that? Of course I
yeah,
saw it, but I just love seeing like just like texting like you and like other
yeah,
friends, be like, dude, that play was hype. Like
yeah,
I know
exactly.
you've seen it, but it's just that like that little like messaging
Yeah.
is really
And you're like,
fun.
yeah, dude, that's like it's like it's the finals or
Yeah.
like it's you like know like you didn't have any conversation with that friend before that you would both be watching that game, but you know they're watching it. And you just like text and you're like, yo,
Yeah.
like that was a crazy steal. Or you're like, yo, we should have called timeout. And like your friend's like, dude, 100%. And like it's like a beautiful conversation that comes out of nowhere. There's no prior context.
Yeah.
I love that, dude. That makes me like that. That stuff makes me happy. I like watching. I've been like trying to get more into after we were talking about how we're not that into sports like
Hmm.
recently. I've been trying to get more into like watching like some basketball casually.
Hmm.
Like I'll like if I have like because then if I have like homework to do, I don't have to pay attention to basketball. Like there's no plot I need to follow. So
Yeah.
I just put it on in the background in like the fourth quarter of a close game, and it's like so nice. Like it could be two teams I don't really care. Like it could be Grizzlies Raptors, and I have no stake in that game. But it's just like two teams going back and forth, and you're like, oh, this is kind of good. Like and then like it's like 2 minutes left, and you like full screen it, and you're like, I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
this. I love that, dude. There's like so many little pleasures of life like that. Or my
Hmm.
friend had money on a hockey game
Hmm.
recently, and I don't follow hockey in the slightest. I like go Devils because New Jersey, but like I don't really follow hockey. And he was like, dude, I have like this is like the last thing I need to hit or something. Like I need this to happen. And I was like, oh, dude, we'll throw it on. And like it was a bunch of us, and none of us followed hockey but him. And we were like all like sitting there watching like the third period, sweating it out with him. And he's like
Oh.
yelling at the screen, and we're like we don't know what to do. We're just like getting like super into it, and then it
Mhm.
goes into overtime. It was crazy. It was like such an bonding experience.
That's what like makes sports great, I guess. I guess that's what I had to like really find to get back into like watching like
Yeah.
basketball and like other sports because that's what really matters, like being around their friends and buddies
Yeah,
and like
I sometimes I
experiencing
get
it.
pretty cynical about like sports and stuff, and I'm like,
I'm
specifically
like,
like football,
yeah.
because I'm like, it's just so like it's so violent, and like I'm
Hmm.
like, I don't even know if I like want to support this, because like it's like I'm like I don't know. There's a lot of problems with like the league and whatever, but like I think the purpose of it, like you said, is to connect with other people. Like I think that's what made like I think it's like kind of an equalizer with a lot of like especially guys where you're like, oh, did you see like you meet a new person? And you're like, oh, like, are you a Yankees fan or a Suns fan? Like, and you like start. There's like a solid chance that they watch one sport
Yeah.
or follow it casually,
Hmm.
and it's like a nice little like
Dude, it's crazy how like
palate
football
cleanser.
is just the number one conversation starter, especially in the workplace. Like in my
Yeah,
Slack and everything, my Slack channels, like you'll see just like football posts and stuff. That's just like a oh no,
yeah.
you can't miss with that. I mean, you'll
Yeah.
miss with that. You'll miss with it if you bring it up to me because I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you know what else it is too, though? I think why football is specifically is because it's once a week.
Yeah.
Well, like it, not really, but like Sunday, like because like basketball, there's a game every night.
Yeah, because
So it,
if you say like, did you see
yeah,
the game like last night? Or like what game? Which game?
yeah. Which game? Like, oh no, my team didn't play. But like, if it's football, you come in on a Monday morning to start the week, and you're
Mhm.
like, oh, did you see those crazy games? And like,
Yeah.
it starts a conversation.
Yeah, and it's the same way with like popular TV shows. Like right now, it's The Last of Us. Like, oh, did you see? I'm actually 2 episodes behind, but
Dude, I'm
eh,
happy you're in it though.
oh my god, I got a burp. Sorry.
Do it.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal. He's daddy. He's
Yeah,
he's good.
I
Dude,
mean,
he's just awesome, dude. I think. No, I know. I was just scrolling on like reels like before I went to bed, but I just saw him just like bopping with like one of those like just
dude.
dancing, getting ham, getting down with it with one of those. What's the zombie called? I can't see, but I can hear
Oh,
very well.
a clicker.
Yeah, he was just like just grooving and
Yeah,
dancing. I was
dude.
like, and then the next reel I scroll past, he was like, I'm daddy. I'm like,
He's him. I think him and Oscar Isaac are so funny. Like they like, because I think they're like two celebrities who like see like they're not like online that they're like reading everything, but they know enough about like that people just call them daddy,
yeah,
and that they have like a set group of fans that are just obsessed with them, and they might be a comfortable eye, but they like use it to just be comedic about it, and they like buy into it. And I think that's so funny.
it's like Henry Cavill. Like,
Yeah, like I love that. Like I like when I think I like when like celebrities like that like make like jokes about like what are is being joked about them.
yeah,
I'm a fan of that.
like they don't want to take it too seriously, and yeah,
Dude, and specifically Pedro Pascal and Oscar Isaac, their jokes are always so sexual, like so much more sexual than you would expect they would be. And I love it. I respect it. Yeah, dude. Welcome to The Last of Us bandwagon.
yeah. It's
Did you
been what you said.
did you play the game?
I played the first mission. Well, spoilers alert if you haven't watched the show or played the game, but I played the game up until Ellie revealed her bite to Joel and Tess.
Okay.
I stopped there. It was on PlayStation Plus, but
Oh, okay,
it was
yeah.
like in the middle of college, like winter break, and I didn't have time to game
Yeah.
I know the game's like a first person like campaign and long, and I just didn't have time to game. I only had time for like 2K and
Yeah,
like
because those are quick, not like mindless, but like
yeah, you can like bop in like make a drinking game out of it. I miss doing that.
yeah,
But yeah, I wish I had more time to like, invest in gaming because it just makes me gaming is a good stress reliever. And
yeah,
well, first of all, before I get into that topic, dude, it's crazy how like for like the game is with the show because the game is very cinematic with all its angles. Because I'm like you're playing from the perspective as what's Joel's daughter's name? Joel's daughter. At one point, and then switching to Joel.
forgot.
Dude, and like the show got it like for like crazy, and they chose the actors so well. Like it was like I was playing the game again for the first.
Dude, that's what everybody like that I know that watches it. Like I like watch it weekly with Aaron, and he played the game. So like when we'll text like after like if we like send a quick one during, he'll be like, "That's literally like shot for shot. That scene is ripped directly from the game." And like I love that they, because like I enjoy gaming, but like I really struggle to get through a first person campaign. Like it's just like it's too long for me, and I get bored. So, but I love watching shit. So like I
Yeah.
love that they made it into something into a different medium so that other people, like people who don't like gaming,
Can experience
can
the
enjoy
story
it.
and really
Yeah, like also
feel.
like my dad's not gonna pick up a PS4 and start playing The Last of Us,
Yeah, yeah,
but
it's a good
he's like, oh,
point.
I'll watch it. Yeah, he's like, oh, I really enjoy it. But I like how they're not like, like a bad adaptation. They'll like take stuff out or like change stuff that really no one wanted changed.
Hmm.
I like that they're keeping basically everything like just the same, and then just adding certain backstories and certain plot points that flesh out what was already there.
Hmm.
That's why I think it's like a hit so far, and everybody, people who play the game, people who don't play the game, both love it.
Yeah, if the game was so good and the story was so good, like why change it too much? You know, like there's no reason.
Exactly. Sometimes I think people overthink. Like,
Yeah,
like you don't have to change it.
yeah.
People liked it for a
They're like,
reason.
we're
Yeah, like,
different. Yeah, we're different. We're gonna be
yeah.
different. You want me? You don't have to
Okay,
be
like
different. Like, you
different,
don't. Yeah.
different can be worse. Like, like
Yeah.
it can be,
It's
it can
already
be
different
bad.
because you're putting it in another form of media.
Yeah, like
So
it can't physically be the same. There's some things that you can do in a video game that you can't film.
yeah,
Or like you can put in a book. Like I could write a book and say like 65 dragons combine into one and then create the mega and then like explode. That's I can't do that on film and like make it look good. Like
yeah.
yeah.
It's been
Yeah, I
a
agree.
while since I finished like a campaign. The last game I finished was Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was like a comparatively like shorter campaign compared to other like
Mhm.
single player can like just story campaign games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started that in 2021. I didn't finish it until late 2022.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like that's in a nutshell though, like gaming as an adult. Like
Yeah.
you have limited time. You like have limited time to a lot to gaming, dude. Especially you. You do so many things on the side as well. So like it's
Yeah.
like you have to like you can go through it slowly and surely, dude.
Yeah. So the issue with like the issue like right now, especially like trying to game is, so like I work for 8 hours as a
Mhm.
software engineer, so I'm coding like on the screen, not for 8 hours, but like, I'll code for a few hours, but like I'm on my computer, whether I'm coding,
Yeah.
working with like my colleagues, like taking notes, writing documentation. Then after that, I could be like filming or video editing for the Chai Guys or like my YouTube or video work. So I'm on the screen again, and then I'm on
Yeah.
my phone a bunch to like check social media or text or something, and then like TV shows and stuff that I'll watch occasionally, and then trying to game after my eyes are just taking a beating of just being
Yeah.
on the screen, looking at a screen all day, dude. Like, oh man, there's so many times in college and also just recently where I've gone like bad eye strain, where
Yeah.
I have to like go to sleep or take a nap and put an ice pack on my eyes because just cannot look at the screen anymore.
Dude, and that's like I think that's like the main to me at least, like the main drawback of anything in like the computer science, software development, computer engineering field is like it takes a toll. Like it really like looking at a screen all day. Like this week, I had to figure out like a bunch of like degree requirement stuff to like finalize graduation, and then I had a quiz, and then I had homework. So I was on like I was on the screen like literally just for the whole day, and I would get home and I would be like, oh, like I really want to catch up on like some of the Oscar nominated movies, and I was like,
Mhm.
I don't want to watch anything though because my eyes hurt. Like I just kind of want to go to bed, and then my brain's moving like way too fast, and I'm too cluttered to read.
Mm.
So then I'm like, all right, I guess I'm just not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna sit here and play with my
Potato.
ass. Like, what am I gonna do? Yeah,
uh,
dude, I feel like it's a struggle.
yeah, that's why I try to just keep up with my gym schedule, volleyball schedule, like go golfing sometimes, just to
Yeah,
find. It's great. It's hard when your hobbies are just in the same environment as like work
yeah,
and other hobbies. Because I'm at, like this desk, I do like work on my desk, and then I switch over to my PC, which is on my desk still, same setup.
yeah.
So it's always a struggle. That's why sometimes just like going to a Starbucks or like in the office sometimes just to get out of this environment I don't know, I'm still
Yeah.
looking at a screen, but like different environment,
No, I know what you mean though. I think it like I don't know if it like tricks your brain, but I think it makes it better to be in a different like I've even though I only have class in the city once a week.
Hmm.
Well, I only have to go once a week. I can go two, but I last week I went 5 times, and I'm planning on going like 4 to 5. Because leaving my desk and going to like a library, it just makes doing work so much easier. Like I don't know why. Like being at home, I like want to get distracted easier. Like I can just go
Yeah.
over there and play a video game or like
Hmm.
literally do anything else. But if I'm over there, like I have to do work.
Yeah. That's exactly why I went to the office like 2 weeks ago, like 3 times when I didn't have to at all.
Hmm.
No, like my colleagues weren't even there on the same days. I just kind of went, got my free lunch,
Yeah,
which I went over my allotted
you're
amount,
$15.
my $15 because I'm a fat ass. Um, I got my Fresca. I fucking love
Yes,
Fresca.
dude.
But yeah, yeah, just changing your environment because you're like I get more steps in throughout the day. I'm like bopping around
Hmm.
through the day. It's just nice when you're changing location, when you're changing the context of like what you're working on. It's really
Dude,
like yeah,
I
it's really
also think it's like psychology wise, I feel like it's healthier. I've heard that you're not supposed to like I was gonna say shit where you eat, but I meant like you're not supposed to like do work in bed because then your brain starts to associate your bed with work, and your bed is supposed to be like an escape. So I think like going to the office to do work, or when I go to school to do schoolwork, it streamlines everything because my brain's like we're at school, time to get into schoolwork mode,
hmm.
and then when I'm home, I'm less in a like I have to be doing something at all times, and I'm more like we're home, it's relaxed time. And then like I don't know, I think it helps. Even if it's just a placebo effect, like in my head it helps, it helps.
No, it works. It's proven.
Yeah. Fucking I'm a doctor. And I said it.
Feng shui. Yeah.
Exactly, dude. Fuck, I used to love that word, dude. Feng
I
shui. I used to
don't even
I,
know if I'm using the right context right now, but I just know it's like how you set up your home. Like
yeah.
you have like you gotta face like your bed, kitchen, plants or something in different areas and in different directions, northwest, east, and south, depending. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think one of the concepts is like separating things of concern and context.
I
And
also think that feng shui is like fully real. Cause like I feel like I've walked into a place and I'm like, the vibes are off. And you can't really explain what the vibes are.
hmm.
It's just the energy of the place is off.
Yeah.
Like it could be better.
Hmm.
And then sometimes you'll walk into a place and be like, well, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Like the vibes are here.
That's why it took a long time to really furnish my living room and just make sure everything was in like the IKEA room planner. I fucked around with that so many times, like
Yeah.
rearranging stuff. Like, okay, how does this feel when someone walks into my living room? Like,
Yeah.
but now I have like it looks pretty good. Well, it's kind of hard because I have a big ass TV and big couch, so like they kind of have to be there. But like, I planned that.
Still though, I was gonna say though, like it even like just looking. I've never been to Jerry's apartment, not yet. So like even just looking, it like the energy is good. Like I feel like I'd feel so. It would be so nice to walk in there and just like pop a squat on that couch and just like
Yeah.
chill with Pikachu and like watch something. Little table right there.
Hmm.
That I like the layout.
Yeah, balance is like everything. Like I didn't want something too clean and minimal. I think that just looks kind of stale. Not stale, but
Yeah.
what's that word? It starts with a also sterile. Yeah,
Oh,
looks too
nice.
sterile. I
Yeah.
didn't want it to be too clunky with too many decorations because I have a lot of posters and stuff, but I only need like one or two and like a few stuffed
Yeah.
animals just to add a piece of my personality here and there.
Yeah, and it's like homey. Dude, that's why I've like done a million different combinations of what I want to put back there in my head, and I
Hmm.
haven't figured it out yet. But I will. Like I'm just like, I can't do it. Like I need to know what I want fully, and then I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Homie Pedro Pascal. Homie Daddy. Is that a podcast? Call her daddy.
Call her daddy. Yeah, what's that podcast about? I
Daddy.
just know it's
I
like
think it's like
two or three women.
yeah, I from the last time I feel like I knew about it, like a couple years ago, it was two women, and I think they talk about like dating, like their social lives, I think they mainly talk about like their romantic and sex lives, and like, but from a women's perspective, which it was, I think, especially when it first came out, like that was not a thing in podcasts at all. It was like a very, I think still is basically a very male dominated field, and it was like, so that's why it became like such a hit. So good for them. Good job, Call Her Daddy. I will call you Daddy. You are the daddies of the podcast realm.
I think it was like a big thing. Not a big. I think it might have been a big thing, like with some people we knew at Stonehill or something.
Call Her
I've heard,
Daddy.
call,
I think so.
call her daddy. The
Mhm.
podcast. No, not daddy in general.
No, Call Her Daddy.
I thought you said daddy.
Daddy? Yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah,
Daddy
that's the
was
thing.
huge at Soto, dude.
I mean, yeah, it was. There were a lot of fathers.
There was a lot of daddies at Soto.
Yeah.
You know? All right, I'm gonna give you one guess, and he'll appreciate this. So I will say it. When I thought daddies at Stonehill, I thought of the first person that came to my mind. Who do you think it was? Like, we're friends. We're both friends with him. If I had to give you a hint, he's the grade above us.
Oh, grade above us?
He graduated a year before us. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I'm blanking on Stonehill names. Oh my god.
It'll come to you. Eventually it will. But I thought like daddies of Stonehill, and I was like, this guy. This guy is like, if I had to say like, who was the daddy of Stonehill? You were there. It was this guy. Just the vibe of daddy.
Dude, I'm blanking, dude. Like
He fully encapsulates the daddy.
Oh no, I can't think of it. Oh, yeah. Who was it? Who was it?
Trevor Henschel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, I don't
Damn.
know why. I just was like, you know what? That guy. I think of his Mr. Stonehill where he fucking housed the watermelon, and I'm like, he was the daddy of
Oh man,
Stonehill.
that was funny. Yeah, I hope he's doing well. Yeah, Trevor, if you're listening, like, hope you're doing well.
We love you.
Yeah.
Just know that you will always be the daddy of Stonehill to me.
Damn, it's crazy. Now that you mentioned that, just like people I haven't talked to in person in a while.
I know it is.
Yeah, for all you listeners that you're my close friend. Whether we met at Stonehill or I have a few close friends I met here in Phoenix. Like, hope you're doing well. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, dude, I love that. I also like love the idea of, I don't know if we talked about this on the like one of the first podcasts or like just in person, but I love the idea of like having like friends that you just meet along the way of your life's journey, like in different places in the world, doing different things with their lives, and you just like you like see something random, like you see like a little snippet of like your friend like, oh, I went to South Africa for this year and like I was working on like medicine or something, and you're like, that's so cool, like, and you like see like someone else like, and everybody's having their own different adventures, and like you pop in every once in a while and be like, hey, like, how are you? I love that.
yeah. That's what's so great, but also kind of not. I don't want to put negative, like sad, not sad, but like
Yeah.
it's crazy how you'll meet a lot of close friends in your life, but then you're not always in the same path, and you have to like travel, and not have to, but people like take different paths and are on
Yeah.
different missions or projects or work in their lives. But it's crazy how like those close bonds still like exist. Like you're in New
Yeah.
York and we're in Phoenix. I'm in Phoenix,
Yeah.
and we're still making the Chai Guys work. It's
Exactly.
great. Yeah, I have a few friends in Japan right now, like studying
That's
abroad.
crazy,
And
dude.
yeah, it's still cool just like seeing their like Instagram stories and reels and just like texting or Snapchatting them.
It's like, yeah, it's so cool. It's like it's so cool to me. I think like because you like the sad part is that like you kind of you drift apart like temporarily
Yeah.
because like for everybody, like for example for us specifically like with Stonehill, like in those 4 years that you're at Stonehill, you are, or any college obviously, you're in like that bubble and you're all having not the same exact experience, but you're all on the same path. Like if anybody watched Loki, think of like the sacred timeline. It's like one timeline with a bunch of different strings. All those different strings are like everybody, and they're all like on the same path. And then you graduate, and everybody branches out. And it's like you may like you'll never like physically and like life wise be as close as you were to that person at that time because you're not on the same path. But like you said, like the bond, like the friendship, and whatever
Yeah.
relationship you had, like that always is like a thing. So you see them again, and like you kind of pick up where you left off. I love that.
It's crazy. And yeah, just having like different like friend groups is just an interesting concept where you have like friends based on vicinity that you see like on a weekly basis, but then vicinity and distance doesn't always mean closer friends. Like you could have like a long
Hmm.
distance friendship that's like really a close bond compared to like someone you hang out with like weekly or
Yeah,
on a
I
daily
would say that.
basis, you know?
I would honestly venture to say that honestly, most of the time, the long distance friendships are closer because you have to work harder to keep them as close. Like if you have two friends, one of them lives like 10 minutes away from you and one of them lives on the other side of the world and you're like the same amount of close with them, I would say that you're closer with the long distance friend because you have to work harder to keep that close connection.
It's crazy, like you said, like when you do see them, like when you haven't seen them in like a year and a half, just like how quickly you like get back on track from like when last time you talked or texted.
Yeah.
Like nothing, like no awkwardness, like nothing's skipped, like it hasn't skipped a beat. It's just crazy how like friendship
Yeah.
works.
Dude, it's like yeah, I love that like is that little like human connection aspect of like just every like life, social life in general, I love so much. Um, question, and also a poll to the Chai tribe. Are you a combined friend groups type of person, or are you a keep your different friend groups like mostly separate for the most part?
Dude, that's a great question.
Because I
That's
think
actually
there's two types of
something
people.
that's actually
Yeah,
something I've had in the back of my head. Like just thinking about like just the structure of how I structure
yeah,
my friends in my mind. But I think I naturally will try to keep things not I don't try to like
yeah. But you
purposely,
won't
but
actively try to combine.
yeah, I won't actually try to combine like I remember at Stonehill and like now like I do have like different sets of like friends,
Hmm.
like close friends, but I don't like combine
Yeah, I
unless
know what
like
you mean.
naturally they click. You know, I don't
Yeah,
try to force it.
I think I do it based on the friend groups. Like I think that sometimes I'm like I think these two groups will get along. And
Mhm.
then like I remember like like my friends from like elementary school, middle school, I just like we're still close and then my I made new friends in high school because we all went to different high schools. And I was like, dude, it was like in my mind, I was like, should I combine these groups? Like, should I try to do it? Like, and I was like worried. I was like, what if this goes terribly wrong? Like, what if they hate each other and now I have to like choose and like it's weird. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. And it ended up working great. Like my high school friends and my home friends like gel, like it was like a perfect gel. And now they hang out sometimes. I don't have to be there. And I some people hate that. I love that. I
Yeah.
like think that's so fun. Like sometimes like my I'll be like texting like one of my home friends and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, like Mike and I were talking and Mike's a high school friend." I'm like, "That's sick. Like they're buddies now." I love that.
Mhm.
I feel like a matchmaker kind of.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah. Like some of my home friends like watch Shy Guys and they're like, "Oh yeah, like how's Jerry doing?" or something like Jerry, and I'm like, it's cool that like you guys are in the same realm of like thought. Like you know
Oh
of
yeah,
him, like you never like met him physically, but like you consider him like your buddy because we're buddies. Like I
yeah.
love that.
It takes me back to our big 21 birthday
Yeah.
bash at Stonehill. Um, we like threw a big party with our friend Abe because we all have birthdays in September. But yeah, we had a guest list of like
Dude.
okay, each of us can invite 20 friends and relatives to this party, to this pre-gaming party, and we had to make it work. Dude,
I,
that was dude, that was so cool seeing all your hometown friends, my
dude.
brothers and my suite mates because it was held at my in my suite, and Abe's hometown friends and buddies. Dude, it was like, everybody had a good time, dude.
I that's like to me like that was the like you know the Disney Channel like Sweet Love Zach and Cody, Hannah Montana, and what was the last one where they all crossed over?
Oh yeah,
Oh, dude, I cannot think of what the third one was, but it's gonna bother me. But it was
uh,
like one huge hour and a half episode, and like it was through the perspective of whatever show it was, and it was like Hannah Montana like walks into
Phil of the
the
future.
Tipton Hotel. Oh, dude, I love Phil the Future.
It wasn't that. Wasn't
um,
that?
it wasn't, but I wish it was. Was it That's So Raven?
Could have. Definitely. That was like probably like. It's probably that.
But like you would just see like Raven Simone like walk onto the boat from the Sweet Life on deck,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, this is so cool. That's what the party was like for me. Like I was like seeing like it because it wasn't even like me meeting like your brothers or you meeting my home friends. It was like your brothers talking to my friends from home, and I was like the secondary connection, and I was like, this is so cool. Like we've created a beautiful crossover event.
I know. I'm glad. Dude, I miss Abe. Our friend Abe, he runs a podcast
Me
called,
too.
I think we mentioned, you mentioned this last episode, I think.
Yeah.
The Redox Cinema podcast.
So good.
Yeah, they talk about The Last of Us and like the latest shows. They're very like well spoken and they really go deep into it. But yeah, Abe, if you're
Shows,
listening,
movies. Yeah.
hope you're doing well. And
We love you, Abe.
speaking of like friend groups, Pierre and I have just like so many sub group chats. Like,
Dude, oh my god, so way too many, honestly. Like
because yeah, like Pierre and I will be in like multiple group chats, but like with like one or two other people, but we'll have like different named group chats. So, like we have, I don't know, we have one with Abe.
we have one with Abe, but I think it's still the Treso Papayas.
Yeah, yeah.
Papa, yeah, dude.
Papa, yeah. We have one with Wyatt for our Meep chats. I think we still have
Yep.
that. Yeah, we have.
And I think it might honestly just be called Meep, or there's no name, which is even cooler.
We have one with our friend Brian. We have just.
We have one with Jill, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's like the forgotten one that I like cherish because it's so funny. Like it's called like something ridiculous, and it's just me, you, and Jill. It lasted for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It was like we just like made the weird jokes, and then it just never was spoken of again.
Yeah. Damn, I miss a lot of friends I haven't seen in a while. You know what hits different? Handwritten
Hit me with it.
notes. Handwritten notes. Dude, oh my god. Like those just hit so hard. I love giving handwritten notes because it makes me feel good. Just like taking the time to give somebody, especially like birthday gifts or like going away gifts. I just got from my friend from Japan, Lucy. If you're listening, I know you're listening because she Snapchatted me the other day, the same like she loved like listening to the podcast, dude.
Thanks, Lucy.
But she just sent me a letter with like a nice handwritten note, all the way from Japan, and she also inserted like a good luck charm. If you watch
Oh, I love that.
the volleyball sports anime Haikyuu, it's of the main character Hinata, but like a nice like good luck charm that I can like strap on to like my backpack. So
Dude,
like,
I
that
love that.
like made my day. I love handwritten notes. Like oh my god.
Dude, I love like. Oh, now I have to burp. I timed that mute perfectly.
Yeah, you did.
Excuse me. I love like the thought of like something physical that you can keep. So like a handwritten note, like from a friend, like a souvenir, a good luck charm, a handwritten note. And I love like the idea of like 30 years from now, dude, like you're moving, like and you it's in a box and you're like, oh wow, I haven't seen this stuff in decades. And like your little kids are next to you, dude, and you're like looking through like 20, 30-year-old souvenirs. That like makes me happy, dude.
Dude, I
Like,
did that
and
recently.
like memories.
I did that recently because I moved into my own apartment last October, and I've actually kept all if not most of the handwritten notes I've gotten like since like college and high school. They're all just in like a small like
love
bag
that.
and box. So I had to like reorganize them and like put them somewhere else. But like as I was doing that, I was like looking through some of the notes, dude, and I think those are important to keep because they hit different than like text messages or emails.
Yeah.
And they really just like they boost your mood and like self-esteem. And they're just like good reminders of the notes and thoughts people had of you in the past that still
Yes.
exist like today. And it really like takes you back. And sometimes you need that to, I don't know, if you're like in a rut or something like we were last week. I'm feeling much better now. But you need those just to like keep moving forward, just to get you out
Yeah.
of that like funk. And
Yeah.
it's that's the power of like handwritten notes and just small gestures like that. They really mean a lot. And whether you're giving or being given to. It's awesome.
Dude, I was thinking the other day, like, because I think it was like a day where I was like running around, like super busy. And like, like sometimes, especially when you're in a rut and you get like way too caught up in like
Small
the
things.
tasks. Like, like you kind of feel like you're like, like sometimes we feel like we're the main character and it's like a little adventure. When the whole day is kind of like that, or like multiple days in a row, I think for me it's too much, and you feel like you're literally like an NPC completing tasks.
Yeah.
And but then you have like a nice like you read a handwritten note, or you have like a nice conversation like on the phone with somebody, and and like the human like connection aspect is like just so important. I was thinking about it because I said I was like walking to class and my phone was in my pocket, and like there was just like an old dude walking, and I was like, oh, like good morning, whatever, and we like had like a 5 second conversation. Let's like exchange good mornings. And I was like, that I never do that. Like everybody's just always looking down at their phone, you're listening to music, and like which is fine, but like just like being like, oh hey, good morning, like how's your day going? It's just so like nice. Like it gives you a nice feeling of like I interacted with like another person today.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so like important, I feel like. To me
It
at
makes you
least.
feel good. Yeah, those
Yeah.
that human connection, dude. I think one thing I wish I did less often, especially during senior year of college, where I was like the most busy. I had
Mhm.
class, I had two part-time jobs, an internship, and just a bunch of like leadership positions. But I would always just like run and gun, AirPods always in my ears, listen to like
Yeah.
Spotify, and just walk into my next thing, like over and over
Me
again.
too.
I
Way too
wish
much.
I know, dude. Like for any of you in college, or just like I don't know, this more applies to college, but just like I just like some tips. Just like leave your door open because like while you're
Mm,
doing work, it's that fun just gesture of like friends coming like by your door saying hi, like what's up? You want to take a break or something?
yeah.
That's important. Like let's like take your headphones off, like say hi to people on the way to your class. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Also, like, leave your door open too is like such an underrated college tip because it is good for like the whole time. Like at first, when you first get to college, leave it open because people will just like be like come in and introduce themselves. You get to
yeah.
know the people in your hall, in your building, on your floor, like whatever it might be. Like dude, I remember I think Alex had the idea in our quad, just like leave the door open, and I had never heard that tip. And like we met like a bunch of people in this that we knew in the SEM just
Hmm.
because the door was open, and they'd be like, "Hey, like I live 2 doors down, like not like Lucas lived like 2 3 doors down from me,
Yeah.
and
I
you lived
lived
down the hall.
I
You have
lived
not,
like doors down. I was the first room on the right in the basement.
yeah. You had
Crazy,
that
dude.
cool like kind of closet room too. I remember, dude.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that brings back
Like
memories,
that,
dude.
yeah. And then like sophomore year, like it's more of the same. You're probably in like a freshman sophomore dorm, so you're meeting new people. And then junior senior, usually you're in a group of people that you have already like known and you plan to all live together.
Yeah,
So then it becomes like your
more
close friends
comfortable.
popping in and being like, "Yo, you want to get lunch?" And like it's a more kind of personal thing. So like it never really fails. But yeah, it sounds super cliche to be like cherish your college years, like, but like really cherish your college years. Like
Hmm.
it's an experience that you're never gonna get really again. Like it's an experience of like we're all like not we're like adults, but like not fully adults yet. Like we're not in high school anymore. Everybody's finding themselves, and like you like basically live in a small community with like only people your age.
Hmm.
It's like so there's no work responsibility. Like you just have school, obviously, and it's like it's a very unique experience. Definitely cherish it because I think it's and like you said, like take your headphones off sometimes. Like maybe once a week, walk to class and to get food like that one day with no headphones and just like see what kind of interactions you have.
Yeah, and get rid of
Like
like the resting bitch face. I have a
yeah,
habit,
yeah,
dude. I have a
I do
huge.
it.
Wait, what's the guy, bro? Is it just called? Is it still just called the resting bitch face for
The
guys?
resting bitch face, yeah.
Dude, I have
It's a
I have
unisex
a pretty
term.
bad one. Like mine's like I'll like well for you listening, you
Smolder?
can't see because I'm acting it, but yeah, like I'll my like my eyebrows will be like a little bit more like not what do you define like flexed,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
you can.
I'll just be like very like concentrated and oh yeah, I have a pretty bad like resting bitch face. Even though I don't try to, I'm just like not in the mood. Like
Dude, I
you know.
don't. I like really. I actively try not to have one, but I
Hmm.
think that sometimes I'm tired, or I'm just like I think a lot. Like I'm just in my head, like thinking of shit,
Same.
and I like definitely look like I'm just pissed off. And I'm not. I'm almost never mad. So like it's like
Yeah.
very. It's like it's the opposite of the vibe I'm trying to put out there.
Yeah, so just like putting like on like a neutral or just neutral or like more positive face, it just can make a difference
Yeah,
for someone like walking up to you, like a stranger saying hi or something. So yeah, that's something I definitely got to work on, dude. I am
dude.
so
Like
bad with
yeah,
that.
like and it's those are like the kind of like to like loop it back almost. Those are the kind of like interactions I'm talking about, like that are so random and they just like stick with you and they're like so like you just think like for me like in my head I'm like like that's like just what kind of life is about. Like people are cool. People are like and just good inherently like and they want to be social. Like if you go to like a concert, like a small venue concert, like kind of one of the outdoors ones and like you're like just like jamming out and there's like somebody next to you you've never met before in your life jamming out and you guys like lock eyes, you jam out together for like a minute, the last minute of the song, and you're like, that was sick, and you never speak to that person again, but you had like you shared that cool moment.
Hmm.
And like they'll always have that cool moment, you'll always have that cool moment. I love those interactions.
Yeah, I guess
Like
a lot
random
of
stuff like
people
that.
like myself, I still not struggle with it, but sometimes you feel like self-conscious, like oh people are looking at me, like
Yeah.
people like are minding themselves.
People don't care.
People don't care. That's like one thing I gotta keep reminding myself. Like, and if people don't care, and people like deep down are looking for a connection. So when you get
Yeah.
past those barriers, and like when one person or a few people like get past those barriers and get to other people, that's like when like
Yeah.
the spirits are lifted and like yeah, everything becomes more relaxed and
It's just the world feels like just like better, nicer, brighter, whatever term you want to use. Like and it takes one. Like it just takes that one person to kind of like break the ice, either in the group or like one-on-one connection. And it's kind of like sometimes you're gonna run into someone either does not want to have a conversation, whether they're having a bad day or that's just they just don't want to talk to you. But like I feel like most of the time when you're like like you're like say like you're in an elevator, you're like whatever with a person, you're like I kind of want to like start a conversation, but I feel like self-conscious. They're probably thinking the same thing. I feel like 70% of the time they're probably like like should we say something to each other? It's like this
yeah.
weird. And then like one person like says something and it starts a great conversation and you're like, "Oh, why was I worried?"
Yeah. It reminds me of that like is that the Progressive or Allstate commercial where it's like don't try to be your parents. We're gonna teach you how to
Oh,
be not your parent. What is
I
that?
think it's Allstate. I think it's Allstate.
Allstate. Like the
I
latest
love that
commercial
commercial.
is the elevator where he
And
like
he's like, dude, he's facing everybody. I saw that the other day for the first time, and I was dying laughing.
yeah. And all
He's
those
like,
like dad
yeah,
jokes. Like do that, but like less dad like.
yeah, yeah. Like dude, I think I did it one time, and it didn't go well. But like, but
You
like
faced
it went.
everybody else.
No, no, not that. But I like tried to make a joke. I think I was feeling confident that day. I was in an elevator full of strangers, and I like I don't know if you've ever seen anybody do it. It's definitely been in like a couple movies or shows, and they're like, so you probably wonder why I gathered all of you here today or something. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Like I like maybe someone no one laughed, dude. It was like so uncomfortable, like not a single soul even cracked a smile. And I was like, well, I guess I'll go fuck myself. Dude, whatever floor was next, I got out. Like I don't know where I was going. I was like, I gotta get out of this elevator. This is the worst day of my life.
Dude,
But like honestly,
I
like it's
applaud you for
worth
doing
it.
that because you can't control what people will do.
No, dude, I
You
think
can
it was
just do
worth it.
you. Like taking that chance, take more chances in life and like be embarrassed, like fail. Like that's like yeah,
Dude,
especially like
also like
social
I
occasions.
feel like a lot of the opportunities that I've gotten, like whether like I meet someone who's like works for a company that's hiring, or like can connect me with this person who's doing this cool thing or whatever, is just because I said something. Like it's so underrated to like just speak up kind of. Like you
Hmm.
can just be like, "Oh, like what do you do?" or something, and it starts a conversation and it's like a crazy thing. Or like someone's like, "Oh yeah, I do this." And you're like, "Oh man, I would love to do something like that." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, come along." Like or like I'll text you, and like it's just because you like said something. Like it's most of the time you're too worried to like ask or
Yeah.
like and like you just miss out kind of on opportunities that could be there. It's like or like just get out of your comfort zone and you meet like cool people. Yeah, dude. But yeah, the elevator thing. I bet you one of those 10 people thought it was funny and they just didn't laugh. Like, give me 10%. Someone thought it was funny, just didn't
Oh
laugh,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
and that's okay.
You need
Like,
at
I'm
least two.
thinking,
You need at least two people laugh so that they're not alone.
dude. Worst case, even if no one found it funny, somebody left that elevator and was like, "Yo, I gotta tell you this story about this idiot in the elevator."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and like so worst case, like I did boo somebody's day. I'm sure of it. Even if they were just trying to make fun of me, dude. But like, yeah, stuff like that. I feel like, or like when you're in a group and like you say something, like you say a joke. This happens to me a lot. No one else hears it except for one person, and that like the person next to you, and they laugh. That's the best feeling. And now you have a little inside joke with that person.
Mhm.
Like you say something like kind of under your breath, and like one person
Yeah.
like
Like
chuckles,
yeah, because they're the only one who hears it. Oh yeah.
and you're like, all right, we're like, you're cool now, we're
Dude,
friends. I love that.
I love doing
that.
those kind of jokes where like I'm not trying to make a joke, but I'm kind of trying to be funny, just very subtly. I love subtle moments where only a few people see it, and like
Dude, that's my favorite type of joke.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
well, I think if I'm in a group and like we're all having a conversation, and I'll be like, oh, like something, and no one, like maybe no one heard me or whatever, just no one responds, and like I just get kind of iced out, and I go, oh, I guess I go fuck myself then or something, like quietly, and then like someone next to me like starts laughing. I'm like, okay, like we're cool now.
yeah. As our friend Lucas will say, I guess I'll sit on my thumb.
Yeah, exactly, like exactly. It's like I feel like that kind of humor too, like. It's like kind of self-deprecating, but
Dude,
like kind of like
I love
observational.
self-deprecating humor. It's so
I
funny,
feel like people like especially our generation, I think, it just always hits. Like it's such a good icebreaker to just subtly just shit on yourself like every once in a while.
dude.
And just like kind of like you just kind of have to laugh sometimes when things don't go your way. I think
know.
it's healthy.
Yeah, it makes you more confident too, because if you can like make fun of yourself, you don't really care if people aren't listening or if your jokes don't hit. Like being like that kind of it kind of reminds me of Tom Holland, where like sometimes he's like nervous, especially in interviews, or he does something like he'll spoil something or he'll do something embarrassing, but he's visibly, he's nervous, but he accepts it and
Yeah.
he just like kind of vibes with it, and that's why he's so like he still has that charisma. And he's very charismatic,
He's
popular.
very approachable. Yeah, like I feel, dude, I go into every like social gathering because I know that I like make a lot of jokes. I go in like half of my jokes are not gonna hit. Like I just go in thinking that, and it's just such a better like, because then I won't like make a joke and no one laughs, and then I'm like, "Oh, I gotta leave because like I feel like shit. Like no, I don't really care. Like if they don't laugh, I probably thought it was funny if I said it. So like that's fine.
And you look more confident when you do it because you just said a joke that wasn't that funny, but you kind of just like slide it off like there was nothing.
Yeah,
And
like
you're
it didn't work,
"I'll
and you
continue."
shrug it off.
And people do notice, especially people who are quiet. They'll notice that and like be like, whoa, like that guy's cool. Like
Yeah, because I feel like I think
I do
that too.
that.
'Cause I noticed that. Yeah,
I
like
I
I'll
do
like
that.
yeah I'll like sit and like someone will say something and like it will not hit, and I maybe found it like a little bit funny, just not like funny enough to like laugh, and I'll just be like, that was funny. I like that person. They're cool.
Just because you're the loudest doesn't mean you're grasping the most attention in a setting.
Yeah.
That's like really important. Like
Usually I like it. Usually I tune out the person who's like the like life of the party, I guess, and I like go just find like other people to talk to, like smaller conversations.
I like the low key
that.
side conversations in the bigger setting. Those are always like kind of fun. That's where you find like
Dude.
the most connection.
That's where you like make your true friends. I agree with that 100%, dude.
Talking about these like embarrassing moments and just being out in public and in like social situations, it reminds me of like scenes from Spider-Man 2 or 3. Remember how awkward Tobey Maguire is? He's just in the worst positions. Like gets turned down by MJ or something, where he's about to like propose or something, and like MJ's like in the clutch of a Green Goblin, and like
Yeah.
she's like I have to leave or something, or when like Peter gets slapped, like bitch slapped in the face, and after tries to grab like a drink off a tray but it's empty.
Dude, yeah, like that kind of I feel like that kind of stuff like humbles you so much, and you just kind of like you like have to laugh it off. or like you're just gonna hate life. Like you just kind of be like, well, it's just that kind of day. Like it is what it is, I guess.
Those movies were so relatable. Oh my, like he portrayed it so well. Like, yeah, Tobey Maguire was like very awkward, like a very
Yeah,
awkward Peter Parker.
yeah,
It was so funny to
100%.
watch and relate. I want to watch Spider-Man 2 again. That's like one. I guess that's my recommendation for this week.
Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, like Spider-Man 2 like hits different. Like it kind of reminds
Yeah.
me of just like also playing Spider-Man PS4, like being that same age as Peter, like going through life. I mean, of course your full-time job isn't Spider-Man or your full-time gig, but it kind of just like
That we know of.
yes, yes. It just makes you relate to the character so much. Like when you have a lot of shit going on like in your mid
Yeah.
20s, like emotionally, uh in your career, like physically. It's just a really good thing just to watch and kind of step back and rethink life.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about that like when it comes to like superheroes and like I think the best kind of superhero story like for me is when it's a super relatable person and like like I've read like I saw some posts and it's not like it's a generalization obviously but it's like DC is more about gods like basically people with the powers of gods trying to become human and Marvel's more about humans who gain the power of gods and like they cope with that and it's like two sides of the same coin but I think I've always gravitated towards Marvel because it's like a Peter Parker of the world who like just a dude like it literally could have happened to anybody just
Yeah.
happened to be wrong place wrong time got bit by a spider and now he has to deal with all this crazy shit and he's just a guy like I love stuff like that it just it's like very those and Spider-Man 2 Into the Spider-Verse
Yeah.
um like they just
Coming of
they hit
age. Yeah.
coming of age Homecoming dude I it's hit or miss for a lot of people I will always love Homecoming
Yeah. Because
because it like
everybody's
is
gone through high
so high
school.
school yeah
Yeah.
it's so high school
Yeah. I can't wait for
and
the next trilogy of Tom Holland Spider-Mans because it's gonna be him like in college, maybe after college, and like that's just gonna hit home. Like,
dude they confirmed that they are already writing it
yeah, that's
which
insane.
like dude I can't wait for college Spidey dude like because
Yeah.
then we'll have a high school trilogy Toby is like the adult trilogy. Andrew's like the bridge,
Yeah,
and then
Angels the Bridge.
we'll have the college trilogy, and we'll have the game, which is adult.
It's Spider-Man's like going off. It's insane how his story can be like retold with like with the
Yeah,
same and different characters, all with like the same like lesson. But yeah, it's just crazy how like they just all hit different aspects, and
yeah,
they're just all so good. The storytelling was like amazing.
and I love that it stands the test of time. Like I can talk to my brother, who's 20 years older than me, about Spider-Man, and he'll be like, "Oh, these were my favorite stories." And then I grew up with a whole different comic run in the movies, and it's like we like you like find a common ground. I love that, dude. It connects people across like generations.
Yeah,
That's a good recommendation, dude.
yeah, friendly neighborhood. Like he's probably one like the most just like I guess his span of audience is just like
Oh
kid,
yeah,
adult. Thing about Batman, he's a very dark, and a lot of his like animated films and like comics and backstories, they're very dark. They're more towards like the rated R, like
yeah,
TVMA kind of stuff. So like that kind of hit like an older audience, you know?
yeah. And then I
Yeah,
think Superman could have the reach of Spider-Man, but I don't think Superman has as many iconic stories.
yeah, yeah.
He's just as iconic as a character, but like I feel like story wise, like the movie, he has less movies. They've been kind of a mixed bag, and like there's like very you have to like find a fan who's read like the really all the most of the comics. You know,
Yeah.
like Spider-Man is just he's always everywhere.
Yeah, I only recommended this like a few episodes ago, but Invincible. He's like he gives off like that Spider-Man, like very relatable. He's young. He's trying to deal with his like godlike powers. Not godlike, but he's like Superman.
Yeah,
He's an alien. He's part alien. So yeah, that's why I'm drawn to him, dude. I think you'll really enjoy it. And
dude, I need to
yes,
watch it.
Steven Yeun, like
Even
he,
you, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
the
Also,
goat,
I think
dude.
that's why the Flash is pretty popular because he's kind of in that range of
Mhm.
age. The Flash, like Nightwing in DC, he's also
I
very
love Nightwing.
he has that he also has like that Spider-Man kind of personality where he's very like goofy. He's acrobatic, of course, but in like that age.
He could be serious at times, dude. Like, yeah, that
Deadly.
like age bracket, early 20s to mid 20s superhero. No, any time in the 20s superhero is perfect. I love that niche right there, dude. That like because that's us. Like, I'm sure when I'm 35, I'll probably think differently.
Yeah. I'll go through a dark phase, a longer dark phase of Batman.
Dude, when I watched the Batman, I was listening to Nirvana. Like, I put these lights on red, and I was just sitting in my room brooding, just like angsty. Yeah, I
Dude,
was
yeah,
like
dude.
just
He's
so
young.
angsty.
I like how they made Batman younger with Robert Pattinson's Batman.
You
He's
do.
he's like in his early 20s. I think. Yeah, early 20s, mid
Yeah, dude,
20s.
I'll always be a fan of um when they like reboot a character like that, doing something completely different because then there's something for everyone. If you want an older, more experienced Batman, you have the Ben Affleck of the world. You have Batman Beyond the cartoon. Like you have Batman Beyond kind of, but like you know what I mean. And then if you want like prime 30s Batman,
You
you
Bale.
have a Christian Bale. Older 30s, you have a Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Young, you have Robert Pattinson. Like there's something for like everyone. Same with Spider-Man. Like we just said, high school, college, like adult, like there's always something for literally everyone. I like that.
Yeah. Speaking of Batman, the Flash trailer, dude. Have you seen it, right? Dude, insane.
It blew my
Dude,
nuts off.
it's giving me it's giving me like
It's giving
it's giving me No Way Home vibes.
Yeah.
Like
Dude, it's very multiverse. Like the multiverse is hot right now. And
yeah,
it's
it's like Batman plays what like this is very like light relation, but yeah, like Batman's like the Doctor Strange kind of like
Mhm.
guiding figure, and the Flash, especially the DCEU Flash, ever since they've introduced him, he's always given like
Spider-Man vibe. Yeah.
Marvel Spider-Man Tom Holland vibes. Like
They tried to do that, I think.
they
I think that was
tried,
a
yeah,
conscious choice.
yeah, yeah. I think we talked about it like in the very 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 old podcast episodes that we
Yeah.
recorded like a couple years ago.
But you know what's funny, I think that it actually like cuz it's like he's the Spider-Man to Ben Affleck's Batman's Iron Man.
Yeah,
Like that's like the relationship, but then he's going to be going to Michael Keaton's Batman, who I actually think is more of an Iron Man. He's more like Iron Man in that like I don't know, he's just kind of a badass. Like Ben Affleck's Batman like is cool and like
yeah.
he like kicks ass,
He's
but he's
broken
like dark.
and he's deadly.
Yeah, he's like a really, and then Michael Keaton's just like I'm Batman and he's
like-
kicking ass.
like iconic. Like
Yeah,
it's
like
crazy. I have something to admit. I haven't seen the original Michael Keaton Batman.
I have a really long time ago, so we're basically in the same boat in that I don't remember most of it, dude.
Yeah, I've seen the other Batman films like Batman and Robin Forever or whatever with like Poison Ivy.
Yeah,
Who's the actor for that? The one from Kill Bill.
Poison Ivy, Uma Thurman,
Dude, she was so hot in that movie.
dude.
Oh my god.
Uma Thurman is gorgeous. Uma Thurman. Do you know Maya? Oh, you don't watch Stranger Things.
No, I don't.
Never mind.
She's the daughter.
Yeah, she's the daughter.
I can see that in her face.
And her
I
dad.
I know what you're talking about.
Her dad is Ethan Hawke.
No way.
Dude, what a family! Like that's like just a crazy talented family.
Yeah. Did she change her? Did the daughter like change her name, or whatever, or no?
Maya Hawke. Her last name. She goes by Hawke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that is crazy.
I know, right? But she looks like honestly, like if you combine their faces, it looks like Maya Hawke.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. But yeah, no, I haven't. I actually haven't seen like Batman Forever or Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Oh,
But
right,
I've
yeah.
seen Batman 1989, and I've seen obviously the Bales
Yeah, I've seen
and all the
Bells.
newer ones after that. But I think the only one that I've seen before 2000 was Batman 1989.
I have to rewatch it. I think I tried watching it, but I kind of got like I was so used to like the modern,
Yeah, yeah.
polished stuff. Like I wasn't used to like the old movies. Like the only movies I can watch, old movies I can watch with like no problem or issue are Star Wars. But I have to get back in the mood and like really like, just like not push through it, but
Yeah.
just really accept it and enjoy it for
I
itself.
think it depends on my. Sometimes I'm like in the mood to watch an older movie rather than like a newer one. Like last night, I didn't end up watching one, but I was really in the mood for a '90s movie.
Hmm.
Like I feel like they have a certain feeling, '90s movie, and like you like, or like an '80s movie, and like you kind of go back to that time. But yeah, I'm excited for the Flash.
Yeah.
I think Michael
Why?
Keaton is gonna kick ass.
I don't want to like get into this issue too much, but isn't like Ezra Miller like in some hot shit right now? But they're still
Yeah.
releasing the movie.
Yeah, I don't really. I think their thought process. Well, I think it's two things. One, they spent a lot of money on the movie, and he got into the hot water once it was done filming, which was
Okay.
super unfortunate from a business perspective because now they were like, we just spent all the money, like
Yeah.
basically,
And he's gonna be
and
in all the
now
posters, and there's two of him.
he's literally like the double lead of the film, and they were like, and I think they were also like, what do we do here? Because we have a movie. They're like, they basically were thinking we have a movie that could make $1 billion. Like we're bringing back Michael Keaton, but we have like the worst PR like possible if we release it. So I think they're kind of going with the. It happened a year and a half ago. That like the really
Yeah.
bad Ezra Miller stuff. People might ignore it. I guess I don't know. It's like really sticky because he did do some pretty bad stuff. Like
Yeah.
it becomes it sometimes like it's one of those things where like I feel like should I go give that movie money? Like am I doing a bad thing by supporting it? It's like one of those ones that you have to think about, you know?
Yeah. So I wonder. I wonder what happened. I think maybe. Well, hopefully, I is he. I heard rumors he's also keeping his role as the Flash. Him and Jason Momoa and
Yeah, I heard a
Shazam, Zach
rumor.
Levi.
I heard that James Gunn said like oh actually I just realized Ezra Miller goes by they. Just realized that. So apologies for that. But that James Gunn said like, "Oh, they're getting treatment and they seem to be doing a lot better." So James Gunn kept it open. Like he kept it like Momoa I think is staying as Aquaman and then Ezra is like a question mark. But like
Okay.
I
And
don't know.
Zach Levi better be staying because he's
And I think
awesome.
Zach Levi is staying. But
Yeah.
dude, I mean, I'm not gonna like. We obviously we're not making those decisions, but I would say that like, if I was James Gunn, I would probably say like, no, like we can't bring Ezra Miller back, just because like I
No.
feel like it's one, it's like if you're looking plainly like business wise, I don't think it's a like you're gonna make a lot of people really upset about it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like a good decision there, but also like just ethically, like he did some pretty bad stuff. Like you should probably fire him.
Yeah.
Them.
I yeah. I guess he's like not my ideal Flash. Like Grant Gustin in the Flash, CW, he'd be a good one. I didn't watch Flash too much, but maybe if they recast, they like
Yeah, but I did hear that Grant Gustin's done because he's done like what 7, 8 seasons.
yeah. No, he deserves like a a
He,
movie with
I think they
good
asked him.
virtual VFX.
He was like, "Nah, I'm good." I think that they should just cast a new Flash.
Yeah.
I think in a perfect world, like I think that at the end of the Flash movie,
Because
I mean it's hard to do, but
I've
I think
always
that like
thought
yeah,
Ezra Miller's Flash was weird. Like it was like
I think most people thought that to be honest with you.
because the Flash is way more confident, not nervous, not as jittery as Ezra
No, they
Miller's
really did try
Flash.
to make him Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah, which I hated.
Which
Like,
like why?
bro, like he wasn't confident in his powers at all. The Flash is like way more deadly. Um, oh man, it kind of
I
pissed me
think
off. Like as much as I enjoy Justice League and like Batman versus yeah, as much as I enjoy Justice League, the Flash, I always was like,
who was oh no, Ezra Miller's Flash was Barry Allen, right?
yes,
I'm thinking that maybe just to like cut confusion, do a fresh take because now we've had two Barry Allens. Do like Wally West, do Jay Garrick, do another Flash is what I'm saying
yeah.
basically.
Wally
Do one of
West,
the other
Wally West
many
would be
Flashes.
insane because the original Justice League show that was Wally West. That wasn't Barry Allen.
Dude, that's what I'm
So
saying. Like you don't like it's like the it's a little different than like Spider-Man issue, obviously, because Peter Parker is like the main. But like, you have so many to work with. Like, do a Wally West has a dedicated fan base. People love Wally West. People like Jay Garrick. Like, just don't do Barry Allen. Switch it up. It's like the Robins. Like, you have 4 to choose from. Like, if you did one, just do another. Like, it's not.
The thing
I
about
don't know, I
DC
feel like,
versus Marvel is that the changing of the cloak, not the cloak,
yeah,
just like the superheroes. It's way more common because there's a bunch of the different versions of Supermans, bunch of different Green
exactly.
Lanterns, Flashes, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Robins, of course. It's really different because in Marvel, it's like the characters stay iconic
Yeah,
and
it's mostly one character.
it's like one and done. Like we kind of see it with we're kind of seeing it now,
Yeah,
where it's a
even
new next generation, but for it's like a
even
more,
with that, yeah, even with that, it's not even like they're like less taking over, and more
yeah,
they're a completely different.
hero.
You see them so like I don't like Miles is Spider-Man, Miles Morales is Spider-Man, but his Spider-Man and Peter Parker Spider-Man to me are so different characters. It's not like he's taking over for Peter
The
Parker.
mantle.
He's a whole different guy. He has different powers. Like same with like the only one I could see it like Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, yeah, and that works. Like that works perfectly in that like they do the same thing basically. They're different characters, but they do similar things. But like if you have like a or like a Ghost Rider, like one of the characters that like makes sense that you keep changing the guard, I love that. And DC has it all the time. But like from a movie perspective, that's great. Like that means if a character flops, you could just put like if they introduced like Jason Todd and somehow he flopped, fine. Like okay, introduce Damian Wayne. Like introduce any of Dick Grayson, any of the other Robins, any of the other Hal Jordan flopped. Do John Stewart.
Yeah, and this is not to say that like, though those characters aren't distinctive from each other. They are like the four.
They are, yeah.
The four Robins are like people have like a fan base for the different Robins, like how
Yeah.
they rate them. Like usually it's like
Oh, they're very different.
like Dick Grayson's like always on top. Usually like Damian Wayne and is usually near the bottom, even though he's pretty good. He's just like the newest.
He's probably my least favorite.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of attention though with the recent DC animated universe. Like a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
They started with Son of Batman and they all connect.
I watched those, yeah.
They're really good. Tim Drake's like either one
Oh,
or two
yeah.
usually because he's like he could take up the mantle of Batman because he's like the best detective.
This is oh dude, we could make a whole separate video for this.
I guess to lighten the mood, what are your recommendations for this week? So
Dude,
mine
so I
was
brought-
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. So in one of my city journeys, I was feeling the main character this week, Jerry. I think on Wednesday or Tuesday, and I was walking down around West Village, and I saw this little record shop, and I was like, I'm a little dirty slut for a record store, dude. So I bought this.
Oh, Peter's showing something for you
I'm off
listeners.
screen, everyone. I bought me some nice Frank Ocean, which I
Oh.
couldn't find anywhere, like until recently. And then, as I told you, this is not my recommendation. It's just a prelude. I showed Jerry a song this week that I like became obsessed with. It's "The Adults Are Talking" by The Strokes, and then I listened to the rest of the album, and then their first album, and I just became like a giant Strokes fan within the last 3 days. Basically, like I'm obsessed. But I loved that album that I showed you so much, dude, that I went back to that record store. They had it, and I got it.
Oh, dude, I love that, dude. Oh man,
Dude,
that's awesome.
it's my baby now. It's literally my baby, and this is my recommendation. Both this album,
Which is
the new Abnormal by The Strokes, and then Is This It, which is The Strokes' first album. Listen to both. See if you like it. It's a very chill indie rock vibe.
yeah. Dude, that was me. I can relate that where I find like a new song. I find a popular band that's been out for a while, and I find a song. That's me and Muse.
Yeah,
Dude, Starlight, such a banger. Oh my god.
I love that, dude. I'm late to the party, but I'm here. Like I'm ready to play. I'm here now.
Yeah. Is that what's that song? I was also vibing to another Frank Ocean song, White Ferrari. That got me,
Mm,
dude. That's
you
so
put that on the playlist, dude.
yeah. There was a verse where it was like Texas toll, Texas. A play in words. It was. He
Yeah,
said
yeah.
something. It was.
He's so good at that, dude.
Wait. Let me do it. Let me pull it up
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick.
Google him up.
Because I want to say the verse real quick. White Ferrari. Like I kept like playing the song on repeat because it was so good.
Dude, I was doing that with Brooklyn Bridge to chorus on the new Abnormal. I'm obsessed with it, and it's like there's a line basically like, I want new friends, but they don't want me, dude. It hit like if you're in your feels. Oh
Yeah.
man, oh man.
Yeah, so here's like the few lines. It was like, you left when I forgot to speak, so I text to speech, lesser speeds, Texas speed, yes.
Nah, dude.
I love playing words like that. It's so
I
good.
love that stuff.
Oh,
You know, Super Rich Kids by Frank Ocean.
I don't know. I only listened to like 3 or 4
I don't
songs
know
from
why
him.
that. No, not Super Rich Kids. Even though I love that song, Nights by Frank Ocean off of Blonde.
I got.
Dude, that there's a like the song it's fantastic, but like the song to me is like good,
Yeah.
maybe great, and then it gets to this little bridge where he like the beat changes like very subtly, and it's like he like is like not really singing, not really rapping. It's like a combination, and he
Yeah.
goes into this like whole flow of like oh my god, dude! It's like he's basically like just it's like so feels and so vibey, and it's like dropping baby off at home before the night shift, and he goes into that flow.
Yeah.
Like you know I can't hear none of that. Spend the night shit, that kumbaya, and it's like that dude. That part I can listen to that part like forever. Honestly, I would be in the shower and I literally would just repeat that one part. I just like go over and over, and
I was like that.
it's so good.
Oh man,
Dude.
it's gonna be like another music like tangent to end the episode, but I was like that with Quinn with one of his latest songs, "The Lows." I think the first verse it was just stuck in my head for like so long, but it's like, I'm top heavy like my Chevy because my thoughts steady, hot sweaty. Oh, it's dude like. Just a play in words, but also like the enunciation and like the beat, because it's not
Yeah.
constant. It's very like up and down, like oh
Dude, a well crafted wordplay is my favorite thing in any genre. Like when you're like tweaking the way you pronounce some words and like stringing them together like that and like double entendres, that's so
Yeah.
it's just art, dude. That's like
Yeah.
just the best kind of poetry.
Dude, it's a nice break from just like the lazy ass like songwriting where like you say something and be like Jordan back to back or something like
Yeah.
like Devin Booker or something, or like say like
There's like
say,
Jack Harlow. Basically, we're talking about
like
Jack Harlow.
like a verse and then insert athlete name and doing something
Yeah.
sick. Like, dude, shut up, dude.
Like Dua Lipa did the song.
Oh my god.
You heard that song?
No, I haven't. No.
Don't. It's literally that. It's literally that. Like you say a celebrity's name, and then you string a little chorus from it, and it's that kind of like na 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 na, and it just gets stuck in your head, and you listen to it. And there's a time and a place. Like if you're out and you're about and you're like drinking and you're out with a bar with friends, yeah, play it. Have a
Yeah.
little, feel a little loose, get a little funky.
I'm
like
s-
if you're, to me, like if you're like just trying to like vibe, you're just trying to get through your day, or even like it's not a party, but you're hanging out with like your friends. You like want to hear like something with just like like something that feeds the soul, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying this now, but I just realized the song I was talking about, "The Lows" by Gwen. He actually has a Steph Curry line later. What he said?
Never mind.
The line's literally like, "I'm almost 30, Steph Curry, my brain's hurting."
But like like it's better than like when every single line is like a pop culture reference.
Yeah.
So then like say the song came out like now, you get to 2025 and the song is incredibly dated. And like now it just like sounds like not dated in a good way where like it takes you back, just dated and you're like, wait, what? Or like, oh yeah, I remember when that was a thing. Like when they like reference like vines in songs.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Never
dude.
ages well. It never ages well because
Yeah. Hoodie
You
Allen.
know, yeah.
I'm a big Hoodie Allen fan. I know not many
Mm,
people like listen to him, especially like my age, but I think he's like really good. I've always liked him. But he'll do a bunch of those like athlete references, but he'll do
mhm.
like just not like the top athletes always. Like he'll say a line with like Danny Granger or something, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like in Indiana Pacers number 33, Danny Granger, and he's a Brooklyn fan, New York, but he
Fire.
still mentions him like
Respect.
those like little things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also like when they like when they like it's like an obscure like Swedish soccer player and you like throw him in there just because it rhymes and you're like, oh, that's sick. Or like
Yeah.
when it's like like a Birdman, like someone who like you had to be watching basketball at that time to understand
Yeah.
the reference.
So you
Like
Google. So if you don't know, you Google it, and like you're like, oh, that's why he mentioned this. Okay, so what's
like
context?
someone who
Yeah.
like had like a good 2 year span of like if someone in a song was like something and then rhymed it with like Roy Hibbert, I'd be like, oh, like Roy
Okay.
Hibbert? Like I'd be like from 2013, 2014.
Pacers.
I would be like hype.
Okay. Oh my god, the team that almost beat the Heat in the
Yeah,
playoffs,
I'd be like,
Eastern Conference
oh,
Finals.
okay. Like if
Okay.
somebody like threw in so like Della like a step below Della Vedova, like where you're just obscure enough that like you really had like Mario Chalmers. If someone throws in a
Dude.
Mario Chalmers reference, I would love that because he like
Yeah.
was famous enough to be a household name when he was on that team, but like now no one talks
Yeah.
about Mario Chalmers. No offense, Mario Chalmers, if you're watching this, I'm a big fan actually.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Norris Cole
Norris
on the
Cole did
Heat.
30. Oh my god, with a flat top haircut, dude.
Last time did I love Norris Cole?
He was like low key clutch at some moments. I'm like, dude, just
I
you're
love
you're a
Norris
rookie.
Cole.
You're annoying me. Like, why are you good right now?
Like there's a line in J. Cole song where he says, um, you're lame, you're Shane Battier. And I was like,
Oh,
that's one of my favorite
dude,
lines,
he's a
dude. You're
menace.
Shane Battier, dude.
Yeah, Shane Batty. He's a menace. He's a nice guy. Good commentator. Great 3 point
He's a
shooter.
good
Good on
commentator.
defense. Oh my
Bald
god.
head, dude. Mike
Yeah.
Miller,
Like, dude, the one shoe three
number
pointer.
13, the 1-2-3 in game 6 of the 2013 NBA Finals.
Yeah. We could talk about like music and sports. Like,
I think honestly, tell me what you think about this. I think that we should probably, for most of our audience, put the up until we said we could probably get into a whole discussion about DC on that, and then put the 40-minute long conversation about DC that we had on Patreon.
I'm done to that because
It's long as hell.
I feel like only a select few listeners would like understand.
Literally 90% of people are gonna skip right over that. They're like, "Who the fuck is Damien? What are they talking about?" Like,
Oh, this is our like comic side like coming out,
yeah,
which is a part of
um,
like our personalities. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah. So if you're listening and it feels like there's a time jump or a big chunk of like the part of the podcast like edit it out, it's because there's a bunch of stuff that we geeked out on. So
yeah, that's why we've actually been talking for 6 hours.
no, this is actually like one of our longest podcasts. It's almost like two
Easily, yeah.
hours. But yeah, those are our recommendations. Yeah, hope you guys have like a nice rest of the week. Hope you guys had like a nice Super Bowl weekend. Oh, I forgot to
Yeah.
mention. I was at the Waste Management Open in Scottsdale, the golf
Oh, no
tournament.
way.
Yeah. I was at the 16th hole. It was still rowdy on Sunday, even though
Dude,
it's
I
the most
love.
rowdy this Saturday.
I've actually been like following. There's a tournament. Well, as we record right now, it's the Genesis Invitational going on.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like it's fun to have on in the background to me. Golf. It's very soothing.
Yeah,
So
in person it's nice. Like a lot of like tents set up to like walk around, like food, like overpriced beer and food. But dude, I didn't realize how close you can get to the course. Like I was literally just
Yeah.
like, well, probably like around Rory, John Ram, Colin.
that's crazy.
They're all
Dude.
like Scheffler. They're all pretty probably crowded. But like I was on like some like top 20 or 30 players
Mhm.
for that day, and they were just hitting their second or third shot off the fairway, and I was just right there. Just
That's so
it's
cool.
just
Did I
straight-
have to do
I
that
was
one
like,
day?
you can do this? Like,
This is legal.
I was this close to I could put my.
This is allowed.
Yeah, I didn't know, dude. It was beautiful too. It's really beautiful venue.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
any-
we hope you have a great rest of your week, and we hope you have some like cool human connection experiences to bring it full circle.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Talk to a stranger. Talk to a stranger this week.
Yeah.
Unless you're a child, don't do that. If you're a child watching this, don't talk to strangers.
Yeah. Hold your mom or dad's hand.
Yeah,
Always.
don't talk to strangers ever.
Do not.
Unless they're like in your school and they're also children. This is gonna be another tangent. Never mind.
We're the Chai Guys, and we'll see you
Yeah.
next week.
Peace.